The WA government has announced 3 major hospital projects to help ease pressure on WA's health system, including the purchase of a private hospital in Perth's inner suburbs. But the hospital fund comes at a cost. The government dumping a $1.6 billion upgrade of the Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre to pay for it.
Currently in private hands, St John of God Mount Lawley could add 100 desperately needed beds.
This is about adding capacity to our public health system as our population grows and as our population ages.
It's part of a $1.5 billion spend doctors have been pleading for amid record ambulance ramping.
We're talking about significantly reducing waiting times for people to get in the front door of our health system, which is chockers, which is sort of bursting at the seams.
St John of God Health Campus Mount Lawley has almost 200 beds and 8 operating theatres. That could help take the strain off nearby Royal Perth Hospital. But the deal's not yet done and the costs remain unknown. There's also no price tag on replacing Royal Perth Hospital's emergency department and the ageing Peel Health Campus with brand new 6-storey facilities at each site. Royal Perth ED to move to Wellington Street, something the government says will mean less disruption, improved access and more beds. Work's already completed at Peel to be absorbed into the new plans.
We've not wasted resources in terms of the expenditure already because the groundworks were necessary, including a new central energy station.
The money to come from scrapping a bold $1.6 billion revamp of the Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre, aimed at modernising the much-maligned city structure.
Our city deserves better than a shed on the river, and this will right a historic wrong.
Despite the cash injection, questions remain about mooted plans for a new hospital in Perth's northern corridor.
We've already just undertaken significant expansion of Joondalup Hospital. That will soak up a lot of the demand in the northern suburbs.
The government hopes the new Mount Lawley Hospital will be online by 2026, when works on Royal Perth ED will also commence. The new Peel Health Campus is expected to open in 2029. Rebecca Trigger, ABC News.
The WA Liberal leader has claimed political victory over the state government's announcement, arguing it buckled under the opposition's pressure on the government's management of the health system. But experts have called for politics to be put aside when dealing with the delivery of healthcare.
After months of unapologetically
Calling our system a world-class healthcare system. World-class healthcare in our world-class health system.
the Premier's actions speaking louder than those words.
Finally, the state government have recognised their failings, the lack of planning and the increasing capacity that is required for our ailing Western Australian health system.
The opposition quick to take credit after months of turning up the heat on the health crisis.
We have hospitals that are crumbling.
Ambulance ramping, the worst ever recorded in the state's history.
Think about health. Make that your job.
A $50 million maintenance fund announcement for several hospitals, including Royal Perth in August, clearly not enough to ease the pressure.
They haven't had a long-term plan, and that's why they've been forced into these measures that have been announced today.
RPH has been a political football for years. The Barnett government broke its promise to spend up to $600 million to redevelop it. The subsequent McGowan government did not follow through on secretly drawn up plans to demolish and replace it with a new $2 billion facility. The Cook government will be hoping this investment will help defuse the ticking political hospital time bomb, but health experts have urged bipartisanship.
Take the politics out of healthcare delivery so that we don't have to have the tit for tat between our political parties over something that is key, that is crucial.
We would call on all sides of politics to remember to also invest in those things in the community that make a difference in the long term, but which may not attract the political headlines.
Finding common ground for the common good. Darina Zadvirna, ABC News.
There's concern scrapping the redevelopment of the Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre will cost WA into the future. The government says the redevelopment would be too disruptive and expensive, having already spent more than $35 million in planning. But the WA Tourism Council says axing the proposal will cost the state millions of dollars in revenue.
Convention centres create money. Hospitals and health services need that money to provide the services to Western Australians. Clearly there is timing of these two announcements coming together, but the truth is we need investment in economic infrastructure if we're going to pay for social infrastructure and services.